procedures are... Right, guys, so as much a memoir for myself as my YouTube channel is, it's always a collective resource of my own memories and things for me, my kids, my family. So this is something I guess in a few years I'll look back on. I won't quickly forget this time, but it's always nice to have the videos, and of course anyone else who's listening and is interested. This is a little video series about during this time what it's like to live in China with the coronavirus. So I arrived in China in 2003, at the end of 2003, start of 2004, when the SARS virus epidemic was just coming to an end. And coming from Africa, we actually knew nothing about it. So funny enough, I arrived here. Previously, before arriving, I didn't bother finding out anything of that. And I arrived here only to be told by fellow co-workers how they had just come out of a 3, some of them 4, 5, 6 month no work isolation period, and I was so naive and oblivious to it. I just arrived to what I expected was the adventure of China, and lucky for me it was all over, so that's what it was. But now in 2020 I'm living through this new phase, and I think a lot in what was learned from 2003 SARS, the Chinese government has taken steps and actions much more vigorously and quickly and swiftly than they did then, and I congratulate them for that. And anyone who has anything other than that to say needs to think twice. Over the course of a short video series, I'll go through the daily life changes, but I need to stress from a personal perspective that what the Chinese government has done here and how they've handled the situation, in my opinion, has been nothing but exceptional. And for anyone who wants to argue that, I'm not really up for an argument on it. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not an emergency evacuation specialist. None of that matters to me. What I simply can speak on is what I see and feel through their particular cautionary steps. And I have to say, I think there's something of a conundrum to it. The fact that this virus is happening in the most populous country in the world means that, of course, it's far more aggressive than it would be in a less populous country. But in some ways, I think the rest of the world has a little bit of a thank you in the deepness of their hearts to express that it's happened in a country where the government has the power to suddenly put in place such extensive measures, and they have. And for anyone who wants to point the fingers about, oh, they tried to hide this, that, and the next thing, that's a debate and a discussion that's probably not worth having. And all I can say is for this: if they had reacted as they have had at the very beginning, there would have been people who complained and said, oh, how can you be taking such drastic measures when you don't even know anything? And they took the right steps at the right time. And if I can give anything, it's an analogy of the following. If you're on a train or in a public place and there is a fire emergency button, you are always asked to push that in the event of an emergency. However, should you push that button and bring halt to the train or bring some kind of situation under your perception that there was a fire and there was not, you will be fined. You will be brought to some form of justice, because you can only push that emergency button if there is actually a fire. You cannot simply say, oh, I smelled something, I saw smoke, and therefore I took the extra precautionary steps of pushing that button. You will still be fined. So if you try to understand any government, and every government is under the same particular set of circumstances, if they push that emergency button early, they risk a whole lot of repercussions afterwards and consequences that they finally realize were not worth it. And waiting until the right moment, there is no right moment. So I believe what the Chinese government did was not only timeless, but the way they put in place measures was perfect. So that's going to be the first intro of my video. I want to keep everything under 5 minutes. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them at the bottom.